I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not.
So, the WNBA playoffs, right? They're supposed to be this amazing showcase of the best teams and players battling it out. But this year, that semifinal clash between the Indiana Fever and Las Vegas Aces, man, it just erupted in controversy. It's crazy because the Fever's head coach, Stephanie White, is actually demanding a full investigation. She's straight up accusing the referees of blatant corruption, suggesting they might have even rigged the outcome. Fans watched the whole thing in total disbelief, seeing these questionable calls just pile up one after another. It completely overshadowed all the incredible talent and hard work on the court. Look, this isn't just about one game anymore. It's really about the integrity of the entire league itself. You have to wonder, did officials truly tip the scales against the Fever? It felt like a coach's breaking point, and now the league is really exposed. Stephanie White did something that coaches almost never dare to do. She completely shattered the silence, saying out loud what millions of fans were already screaming at their screens. Her voice was heavy with frustration, but you could feel the steady conviction behind her word. She pointed directly at the numbers, those lopsided statistics that nobody could possibly ignore. The free throw gap between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces wasn't just big. It was absolutely outrageous. That kind of disparity just turns what should be a fair contest into a total far disrespect. That was the exact word White chose. And wow, did it echo far beyond that post-game press conference. In one single word, she summed up the humiliation, the injustice, and this growing suspicion that the playoff series wasn't actually being decided by the athletes alone. That word cut through all the noise like a blade. Coaches usually avoid talking about refereeing like this. They know the cost, fines, suspensions, or even worse. Most of them speak in a kind of coded language, carefully dancing around the elephant room. But why? She didn't tiptoe around anything. She basically sprinted across that invisible boundary. Her demand for a full league-wide investigation wasn't just about protecting her players. It was about something much, much bigger. The entire credibility of the WNBA itself. As if fans, players, and coaches start to believe that games are being influenced, or even rigged by the officials, then the very soul of the league is truly at risk. And White wasn't alone in this. The anger wasn't confined just to Indiana's locker room. Across the entire nation, social media just exploded with evidence, with outrage, and with pure disbelief. Clip after clip went viral. Phantom fouls where there was zero contact, blatant hacks that went completely uncalled, images that were ignored as if they never happened. The replays just played on an endless loop, and each one deepened this sense of betrayal. Even analysts joined the chorus, dissecting plays frame by frame on national television. You'd hear things like, "How is this not a foul?" As they paused the clip where an Indiana guard got knocked to the floor without a whistle. Fans chimed in with their own edits, slowing down every questionable call, posting side-by-side comparisons that made the officiating look not just biased, but almost intentional. The verdict was chillingly consistent. The Fever weren't just fighting the defending champions, the powerhouse Las Vegas Aces. They were fighting something way murkier, the referees themselves. What made this whole storm even more powerful was the unity it created. Usually, sports arguments split along team loyalties, right? But this time, even neutral fans and rival supporters admitted that something felt deeply, deeply wrong. One viral post even read, "I don't even like Indiana, but this officiating is disgraceful." That kind of universal agreement is super rare in sports. And honestly, it's pretty dangerous for a league that's trying so hard to grow its fan base. Stephanie White had essentially thrown down the gauntlet, and the entire basketball world picked it up. This was no longer just about one playoff series, one team, or even one season. It had become a full-blown fight for trust, for fairness, and for the integrity of competition. So the question now looms like a big shadow over the WNBA. Will the league acknowledge this massive problem and actually restore some faith? Or will these whispers of bias and corruption just define this entire era of women's basketball? One thing is absolutely certain. The spotlight isn't just on the players anymore. It's squarely on the referees, on the league, and on that silent power behind all the whistles.